Hello guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to yet another video, folks. Today we are predicting the UEFA Champions League of the last 16 of the Champions League last 16 first leg. So much to look forward to, folks, including big games like Newcastle, Barcelona, Chelsea against PSG, Liverpool, Galatasaray, and Real Madrid against Manchester City. So let's start off with first up. In a repeat of the league phase game, Liverpool returned to the city of their 2005 European glory, Istanbul, with the Reds facing Galatasaray in an intriguing clash. Galatasaray have produced some impressive performances and victories this season, perhaps none other more notable than their 1-0 victory over Liverpool in the league phase, but the Turks' gel and hide nature still serves as a frustration for their fans. And the example of that came in the knockout playoff round last month, as they came from behind to hammering Juventus 5-2 at home before them being taken extra time in Turin, only for Victor Osimhen and Boris Alperhulunze eventually secure their progression. Liverpool have endured a very difficult campaign both on and off the pitch. At the business end of it now, Arne Slot has his sights of a couple of pieces of silverware to add their 20th league title last season. The Reds move into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup at the weekend of a 3-1 defeat of Wolverhampton Wanderers at Molineux, just a few days later having beaten by the basement club in the Premier League. Liverpool have proven themselves capable of beating them by high scoring and entertaining contests, as well as was the case in this game in the autumn. But Stottery and fairly treacherous affairs, but these are the two inconsistent sides, both two legs. Gala may well be believed the best chance to edge them through this, simply to go all out and attempt to outscore their opposition, but that should leave quite a good watch for the neutral, especially in this first leg. I'm going for Liverpool to win 2-1 just in Turkey. And then second matchup, and then Atletico Madrid can often frustrations by Lopsi, Alaves Barcelos. Surely cannot pass them what almost appears to be a bye into the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. Atletico Madrid put in some of the best performances of any team in Europe this season, but they have matched that with some of the worst of a recent 4-0 hammering of Barcelona in the Copa del Rey semi-finals before losing the second leg by 3-0, being an excellent example of that. Diego's on one side, head to this one on the back of a 3-2 defeat of Rio Sociedad in La Liga at the weekend, showcasing their gel, hiding nature for the 90th minute match for the Metropolitan League. Tottenham Hotspur can only dream of being inconsistent, with the North Londoners having been regularly below par throughout the year to now, mean that they are very much in the relegation battle in the Premier League this season. But their only victories in 2026 have come in this competition, as they finished the league phase in January with a 2-0 victories against Borussia Dortmund and Eintracht Frankfurt, still then under Thomas Frank's management. Now with Igo Tudor at the home, already lacklustre Spurs lacking any sort of identity spare, even worse at the moment, but Atletico can be too entertaining for their own good sometimes, but even they should be able to be confident that they should comfortably see Tottenham off in the stadium, where Spurs perhaps reached their peak with their 2019 UEFA Champions League final loss to Liverpool. But I'm going for Atletico Madrid to win 2-0. And then Atalanta produced a remarkable comeback in the knockout playoffs to set up a contest with many pundits' favourites for the trophy, Bayern Munich, in the round of 16. In the knockout round playoff, Atalanta suffered a 2-0 loss to Borussia Dortmund in the first leg before coming from behind to win 4-1 in the second leg of a last gasp penalty too, and to complete a dramatic comeback in Bergamo. Bayern Munich continued their rampant form in the Bundesliga with 4-0 humiliation of Borussia Dortmund in Germany, but they are sitting 11 points clear with just 8 games to go in Germany. So Bayern Munich finished second, winning 7 of their 8 games, only losing to the team that topped the 30-16 table, Arsenal. Bayern Munich may well be susceptible at the back, but they have been on the occasion with the Bundesliga. But they remain firm favourites for this one against Atalanta side. They'll be expected to do themselves at least occasionally blooding the nose of their opponents with home advantage. So I'm going to go for Bayern Munich to win 2-0 3-1. 2 goals to 0. Right, Newcastle United will take on Newcastle United take on Bayern Munich. Pro Tour 6. Right, so a game straight from the late 90s and the early 90s as the Bobby Robson derby takes place once again with Newcastle United facing Barcelona this midweek. Newcastle United coming into this one on the back of being punished by Omar Mamouche brace at St James's Park, losing by 3-1 in the 5th round of the FA Cup against Manchester City. The Magpies have put them in some of their own very good performances this season, but they've undermined the high levels of incomplacencies on the occasion, but they know how to get themselves up for the big occasion. And Barcelona cannot win the treble this season after the Mbongali refused to recover from 4-0 loss to Atletico Madrid in the semi-finals, but by any means, Neymar Yamal is in fine form. The 18-year-old has been phenomenal for the couple of years now, but they may well be finding his best in terms of the fluency on the final third. But Barca have options though. If he was underwhelmed, was the case when Marcus Rashford scored a match-winning brace against Newcastle in the league phase of fixture between these two sides. Could it be revenge? Newcastle may well be able to expose the extraordinary high line of the Spaniards, but Barcelona remain firm favourites for both legs of this round of 16. I'm going for Newcastle 1, Barcelona 2. Barcelona 2. Right. On Wednesday, Bayern Leverkusen and Arsenal meet for the first time in over 20 years as the pair lock horns in the first leg of their round of 16. So Bayern Leverkusen made it through to the last 16 of the UEFA Champions League courtesy of a 2-0 aggregate victory over Olympiacos in the knockout phase playoffs. And they will now to bid to reach the quarterfinals for the first time since they lost to Real Madrid in 2001-02 final. But the German side have been solid in 2026 overall, having lost just one of their last 12 games in all competitions. As for Arsenal, Arsenal were supreme during the league phase, topping the table after winning all 8 of their fixtures and now heading into the round of 16 as the favourites among many bookies to go all the way. The Gunners are fighting for 4 different fronts for trophies this season. The UEFA Champions League, naturally among the highest priorities alongside the Premier League. Bayern Leverkusen has made themselves hard to beat in 2026. Head coach Kasper Højlund knows that his side face one of the toughest possible testers in the last 16, and with Arsenal proving thunderbolt force across all competitions. The German outfit has beaten English oppositions once already this season, though, recording a 2-0 away win at Man City in November. They also drew with Newcastle in the final set of league phase fixtures. Arsenal, meanwhile, are unbeaten in their last 9 competitive games, but they've been ruthless officially in their European outings. Mikel Arteta's side boasted a best defence record this season's Champions League campaign. They look capable of recording a win and a clean sheet in this first leg in Germany, but I can see an Arsenal, battering 3-0. You expected dominating from start to finish. Dominating from start to finish. Bodo Glimt versus Sporting Lisbon. Norwegian superstars Bodo Glimt will continue their fairy tale journey in the Champions League when they face Sporting Lisbon. So Glimt have developed a reputation for making life difficult opponents and putting heavyweights Manchester City and Inter to the sword in their last 2 games at the ground. The super team will be confident getting the better of Sporting side that has looked less convincing in the continuing outings on the road. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Right. Chelsea will test their mental against Champions League holders PSG in the first leg of their last 16 sides at the Pride de Prince on Wednesday night. 2 teams lock horns for the first time since 2025 FA Cup World Cup final last summer, when Cole Palmer inspired the West Londoners to a 3-0 victory in the United States. PSG has never been involved in a goalless draw in the Champions League phase, a run that currently stands at 58 games. It is difficult to invade the contest without goals between these 2 attacking-minded sides on Wednesday. There is a little separate these 2 teams, who have experienced inconsistent runs of form in recent weeks, but we can see the spoils being shared on this occasion, keeping the tie firmly poised heading into next week's second leg at Stamford Bridge. But I'm going for PSG to win 2-1. And then the game of the week in the Champions League, Real Madrid and Manchester City. The 16th Champions League instalment of Real Madrid and Man City takes place at the Bernabeu on Wednesday night. Both sides butt heads first leg of their last 16. The eagerly anticipated fixture will become the first in the competition's history to be played in the knockout stages in 5 consecutive campaigns. Man City, after slipping up a 2-2 draw with Nottingham Forest, but just bounced back with a 3-1 win over Newcastle last weekend. But the expected absence of the top scorer Mbappe and the key midfielder Bellingham is a huge blow for Real Madrid as they prepared to face a refreshed Man City side. They've already won in the Spanish capital city this season, boasted 11-game unbeaten run in all competitions. The lost Barcelona should never be written off any contest, especially in the Champions League. We feel that Guardiola's men just do enough to take slender advantage back to the Etihad Stadium for next week's second leg. But I'm going for a Desmond 2-2. That's my predictions then for the Champions League round of 16 first leg. Leave on your comments below and see you in the next one. Bye, peace out. Good morning. Have a great for the rest of the day.